Welcome back to LinkedIn Logs, the jobs podcast for the website cpluscomedy.com. Like I just said, it's a website. Go there. Welcome back in as I turn off the audio and fix my mic and stop looking at emails, C Plus Comedy's emails. I meant to record this a couple days ago. The plus side is the plus side. The plus side? Yeah. Okay. I thought it was a plus size, and I went, what am I doing? Well, first of all, what am I doing? LinkedIn Logs 58. The plus size is I have at minimum, not counting this episode, 4 more episode ideas. I don't know. You know what? I'm changing things around. I'm changing things around. Okay. I still have 4 more ideas, but one of them had to be moved to today because it does involve the year 2024. How was this year in terms of jobs for the entertainment industry? Well, as somebody who did not have a steady employ, I tell you, it wasn't very good. And you could say that's the nature of everything, but man, I would look up, I would go on LinkedIn all the time and go, oh, what kind of jobs we got there? Not a thing. Meanwhile, I'm watching people celebrate, oh, this happened to me. Oh, this happened to me. Like, oh, how dare you? How dare you be so happy? Meanwhile, I'm kidding. But that all throughout the year, you just saw, especially for entertainment industry, you just saw all jobs leave Los Angeles. Like shooting in Los Angeles is going to get slightly better next year, mostly because there are a couple of shows that received incentives. California credits, I believe, is what I might be looking at. Yes. Bad Monkey, the show starring Vince Vaughn. And I forgot who created Bad Monkey, but it's on Apple TV Plus. It just received a $20.6 million credit. Oh, it's one of 20.6 million to move from Florida to California. Tax credits. Other productions include a Disney miniseries, which is yet to be titled. It's $14.7 million. NCIS Origins at $5.7 million. Whale Fall. I don't know what the hell that is. That was Whale Fall. It sounds cool. That's a book. Ugh, lame. Whale Fall is a 2023 novel. It's not fair. Books used to have to wait such a long time to be made. Used to? I don't know. But now it seems that people doesn't have a good read score. It just seems that people are selling options for books with television and movie options too. Is your shirt dirty? Is there holes in it? I discovered one of my favorite sweaters has just a giant hole in it. It's a nice one for Banana Republic. It's about a teenage scuba diver who is swallowed by a sperm whale. Moby Dick? This all comes after Gavin Newsom. This is from The Hollywood Reporter, written by Winston Cho. I'm not linking the story. Bad Monkey nabs $20 million in California tax credits to relocate from Florida. As I was saying. Gavin Newsom proposed in October vastly increasing the cap on production tax credits from $330 million to $750 million a year. In this past couple of years, we've seen productions shift to Georgia from places like California and New York. And even, I don't want to say rural because I'm not going to say that Georgia and California and New York don't have rural spots, but places that commonly wouldn't have productions, they're getting shows and movies. But even when you think about it, that was the longest pause. How long was that on the audition? That was from, hold on, that was roughly 10 seconds. Oh my goodness, don't do that again. You're talking, Chad. You're the only one. But, I'll get back to making things, shows and stuff. Where even though these tax credits and incentives, things are being asked to move, or even consider staying in places. I know that I just received an email on the C Plus Comedy Gmail account that said Stranger Things is done shooting. Period. Today was their last day, and I know those people. I know some of those people live here in my neighborhood. I've seen them walking around, and that's a moment in their life. What was that, like 6, 7, 8 years? When did the first one come out? I don't know. And then with that, we even have consolidation. We've got Warner trying to consolidate its streaming, trying to take off the heft of what streaming is. Streaming costs a lot of money, and now that there's a lot of expectation on, well, no, not expectation. They signed contracts that all these networks and streamers and broadcasters have to pay better residuals, including Netflix. How are they going to get this money? They're going to get rid of people because CEOs will be taking a hit. Zaslav just sold $30 million in stock. It's insane. Again, he makes roughly $50 to $100 million a year, which I think half of that is stocks. Anyway, what I would do, you just pay me $1 million. We're going to allocate all those funds, the rest of the money, to, and I understand. I know they're gonna be like, well, he's a CEO, blah blah blah. Look, this is what I would do. I would take 5 year, I signed a 5-year contract. You pay me $1 million a year plus stock incentives. So as the company does well, I do well. The money that I don't get paid in cash, that rest of that 49 to 99 million, put it elsewhere. Put it into TV, put it into the people, put it into the movies, the people that make the movies, the gaffers, the background artists, sound engineers. No people above certain levels. No people making livings. I mean it. Allocate that money, distribute that money. I guarantee we will have the best streaming platform, the best cable platforms, the best broadcasting platform, the best video games. People would go freaking nuts. They're like, oh, Warner Bros. Is really good now. They're willing to take more risks. And yeah, I understand that all the money that I'm giving up isn't going to be able to that can make like 1 or 2 TV shows. What I'm saying is you're making the people that make that happy. You make them happy. They're going to want to stay. You know, kind of like before life was when streaming didn't exist. This comes from Todd Spangler at Variety. Paramount consolidation of U.S. TV and streaming distribution teams results in staff cuts. Again, we are seeing people lose their jobs. There's a merger, proposed merger. We're still doing a little bit of fixing when it comes to the details, but between Paramount Global and Skydance Media in 2025. The media conglomerate is integrating the group that, this integration, handles distribution for the Paramount Plus and Pluto TV streaming services with its U.S. TV networks distribution teams. to, quote, create one unified distribution team that is optimized for growth across our portfolio. Paramount's been doing consolidation for the past couple of months, it seems like. And there's layoffs, what they call a handful of layoffs. And it is, I mean, they're trying to be more lean. You know, whenever I go to the Warner Brothers Workday page, I see where I used to see 200 jobs. Now it just says 73. And I see people getting laid off all the time. I see on LinkedIn, hey, looking for a new role, all this stuff. Even though you worked for 20 years there and, you know, your severance is probably higher than what I made this year, including when I was hit by a car. Through the summer and fall, Paramount has made layoffs and implemented restructuring amid cutting 15% of its headcount, affecting about 2,000 employees. The cutbacks are part of the efforts to slash $500 million in annual costs. Now, continuing off of that, this comes from The Wrap. It's part of their pro service, so I have to, find a way to read that. So we will find a way to read that. It's not illegal. It's just archived. This comes from Tess Patton, Sean Birch, Lucas Manfredi, and Jeremy Fuster. Speaking of which, look, I don't mind. This is something for the constitutionals. I don't mind supporting websites. I don't mind supporting journalism. I don't mind any of that stuff. What I do mind is every single website turning to that avenue of having to pay. Case in point, The Verge, which is probably my favorite tech website, has pivoted towards a pay subscriber model. And the thing is, if you only go there every so often, they're like, you don't have to pay, and also you have to sign up for an account. So if you go there every so often, you don't have to pay. But if you're a reader like me, they ask you to pay. It's like $7 a month. You know who else asks to pay? The Atlantic, the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, New York Magazine, the New Yorker, Vox. Vox is a newer one. The Athletic is included on the New York Times, thank God. But those are the websites I go to. So now I'm sitting here reaching limits. Like, guys, come on. I want to support journalism. I can't pay for everything, though. These writers write, in 2024, nearly 15,000 jobs were eliminated across broadcast, television, film, and news and streaming, extending a 2-year run in which the news and entertainment businesses were dealt body blows. These numbers come from Chicago-based firm Challenger Gray and Christmas Inc. Merry Christmas. Happy Holidays. Which tracks? You guys like the Backstreet Boys Christmas song? You know how you know how many Peloton holiday classes have I taken between running, yoga, Pilates, cycling, and I don't think I've taken any other holiday. Oh, rowing. How many times do you think I've heard Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas Is You" and "Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays" by the Backstreet Boys? Or if that's NSYNC, then it's NSYNC. And then the December 21st from or December, I don't know what it's called, by Earth, Wind, and Fire. How many times do you think I heard those? Every single class? You're correct. Even the London teachers play it. It's ridiculous. Now, these jobs were lost by mid-December this year. It offered an improvement on the 21,417 jobs that were cut in 2023. So we lost more jobs last year. It's not a comeback, so please don't call it that. Combined, the number of jobs lost between 2023 and 2024 more than quadrupled the amount lost between 2021 and 2022. Holy cow. Yeah, it's about 7,700 in 2021, and then 36,000 in 2024. Wow, it's plus 368%. There's a lot of reasons why this has happened. Hollywood has had a lot of layoffs because they have to reach, Hollywood as a whole has to reach profitability when it comes to the streaming thing. They're still trying to figure things out. They don't have as much maneuverability as, say, a Spotify or an Apple Music or a YouTube Music, where they're just dealing with with royalties, but they've been paying very bad money royalties to artists for a very long time. Then there's also the difficult job market in general, where people are having trouble finding jobs. And then consolidation, like at Paramount we just talked about. The news business has suffered from ongoing decline as the business model for traditional print has collapsed, and we see advertisers are moving over to Google and Facebook and Google, Meta, and TikTok and things like that. BuzzFeed and Vice are I'm referencing this article, this piece, excuse me. BuzzFeed and Vice are seeing tons of layoffs, as I just mentioned. Coincidentally, because I did not know this was going to happen, because quite frankly I didn't read this article. I just saw that headline. I said that would be a good story for LinkedIn Logs, but I'm pulling it off, baby. Coincidentally, the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, The Atlantic, New Yorker, New York Magazine, Vox, The Verge, they've all moved over to this model. Well, I mean, some of them were on that model, the subscriber model, for a very long time. But you either go through the layoffs or you move to a model where you get the people who keep reading to do the layoffs, or to pay. Local news has had a lot of trouble keeping up with this, and we need local news. As much as I spit down on the likes of my former employers at 11 Live News, we do need them, because they cover the stories that CNN won't, when it comes to, DeKalb County or Butts County or any small towns like Hiram, Georgia. I don't know why I said that. Those are all real places. Condé Nast and even Hearst are feeling it too. Everybody figures that there's going to be more consolidation. I mentioned the Warner Brothers consolidation kind of in passing, the streaming consolidation, where there's bundles that are going to be had. It's if Warner, Zaslav, and his cronies can create a bundle with their people at Hulu, then they're going to do so. They're going to say, hey, Disney, people like Hulu, people like Max, why don't we just make a bundle together? And so now you can include, I think, just Max inside the Hulu with the Hulu bundle. You can get Hulu and Max together, and obviously use Max on Hulu, but get Hulu and Max together. The new normal for the media world, unfortunately, is to brace for thousands of layoffs each year. And then as we have more tools like AI come through, they're going to be implemented. I think next year we're just going to see a lot more of, I don't want to say unprecedented, but because it's something that tomorrow there's probably going to be some new AI tool that Washington Post implements. But we saw CNBC introduce an AI tool on their website that summarizes stories at the top of the post, I believe. Let me triple check that. CNBC AI tool. I shouldn't have Googled that on their website. Okay, yeah. Let me click on one of their stories, because now I feel like I'm wrong. Because they usually have the key points, and then they have this AI summation thing. So we're anyway, but I figured that for news, and especially local news in general, like 11 Live News and Channel 2 Action News, whose name I forgot for a second, WSB TV, and Peachtree Network and all that stuff, we're going to see more stories that are written by 11 Alive staff, and it is from, oh God, who owns 11 Alive? Tegna. It's going to be, Tegna is going to start implementing, and this is just pure speculation, but I know this is going to happen. Tegna is going to be implementing some AI tool that where writers, where news people can just type in on smaller stories the details, and then it'll write something, and then that'll be it. That's where we're trending. That's what's happening. As for the rest of the industry, where can we go from here? Is it going to take a Disney making more shows and movies? Is it going to be people like Paramount partnering with Skydance to be able to go, okay, hey, we had a rough year and we had to cut off $500 million, because $500 million is a lot. But Skydance is an even smaller company. So are they going to be investing in that? Are they going to use money from IP? Is Avengers 5 is Avengers 5 going to be one of the pillars that helps pay for smaller movies when it comes to Disney movies? Is Superman, that's coming out next year, going to be a movie that makes a lot of money that can also pay for, some Warner Brothers cross A24 project? I don't know. And also a little bit of it, I'm not saying, 50%, but a little bit of it has to fall to consumers too. There's a story I'm going to talk about in the Constitutionals that comes out this same week about the diversity report and what it says about white men in Hollywood. And there was a diversity report that said that the most watched streaming shows this year had lead actors and series creators that were white men. And usually for the diversity report, I'll give you the UCLA, Annenberg Inclusion Initiative, and other diversity reports that are very big in name. What they do is they cull a certain time period of 1, 5, 10 years of television and movies, or the top television movies, and they look at something like over the past 5 years, how much queer representation has there been in television, and then they'll dive into that. And they'll say, oh, from 2018 to 2024, there was not that much, or an uptick. There's an uptick in 2022. Anyway, I like hearing about those reports, but they all, for the past couple of reports, they've been saying that people have been tuning into more diverse shows and movies, but the most popular things happen to be led by white men and white women. So it's things like that. So would it take, this new Superman movie made by James Gunn? Prior to that, he's not like Greta Gerwig, who does not hire people of color until she gets a big name in the spotlight. But he is a person that really hires his friends, and I think in the movie The Suicide Squad, which is a sequel reboot to the first Suicide Squad movie, it was like 7 of the superheroes were his white male friends. So is it going to take trusting in, just going to start naming people: Issa Rae, Ava DuVernay, Ke Huy Quan, I just named 3 people. I couldn't name anyone else. Selena Gomez even. Is it going to take getting those people in projects, and then also allowing them to have a more diversified set of people around them, from actors to background artists to sound mixers to editors to everybody else, to PAs, to all that stuff, producers, directors, writers? Because people can we see these names all the time, and if we keep seeing the same names, that's great name recognition for those people, but we have to start focusing on other people too. All right. Listen, if you like what you heard here, and I don't know why you wouldn't, head to the website cpluscomedy.com, where you can see me talk to famous people. I just finished a conversation with Rose Matafeo. She's in Moana 2. She has a co-starring role in Moana 2. And I reached out and I said, please give me. But she has a new special coming out on Max. And but I said, listen, I got to talk to her about this Moana. We talked about this special mostly, but I did ask her questions about Moana, so check that out. youtube.com/C+comedy under the interviews. You can also see a video version of this show on youtube.com/C+comedy, as well as video versions of the other podcasts, the Constitutionals podcast, and which is the Entertainment Business News podcast, and Late Night Lately, the late night show. You can find those podcasts wherever you get your podcasts. And you can go to the website, cpluscomedy.com, where there's everything that ever exists. And if you have a job for me, let's do it. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Blue Sky at C+Comedy. I've been Chad White. Bye.